If you guys could grab your pencil, make sure you grab your journal. All right, there we go. Go ahead and open your journal to yesterday. Who can remind me really quick what we were working on yesterday? I'll give you a hint. It wasn't an exact answer. What were we working on yesterday? Joey, go ahead, sweetie.
Rounding numbers.
Okay. We were rounding them, but what was our purpose? Why were we kind of coming up with some compatible numbers or rounding them? McKenna, what were we trying to do?
Estimate them.
We were estimating our product. And when I say product, it's because we started working with what math operation? What math operation were we working on to find a product? Kyler.
Multiplication.
You guys are awesome. We started our multiplication. Very nice. So yesterday, you guys had a couple of problems. I'm going to pull one up. I'm going to share my screen with you really quick. And we're going to go over one of the problems that you guys did during your work period yesterday. If you could just remember to make sure if you need something to raise your actual hand, unless I say just unmute yourself, then you can just unmute yourself. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you guys. And we're going to look at this problem from yesterday. So you should be able to see my problem right here. It says problem solving. And this was number 18 yesterday. It said estimate 530 times 375. And it says, is the estimated product closer to 150,000 or 200,000? So I want you to go ahead and find that problem in your journal really quick. And if you didn't get to it for some reason, if you could go ahead and start thinking about it, I'm going to write it on my board, and then we're going to talk about it really quick as a group. All right. Let me hop back over to your faces really quick. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing. And I want you guys to look at my screen. If you could pin me to make sure I'm the biggest thing on your screen so that you can see my board. If you can't see it for some reason, just holler. Thumbs up if you're good. Awesome, cool. So I want you guys to help me estimate this really quick. What number, when you look at 530 and 375, what numbers are you thinking that you could use to help you estimate? What numbers here do you think you're using to help you estimate? Serge?
530 would be 500.
You think it's close to 500? Okay, how many of you guys agree with him? Give me a hands up if you agree with him. Cool. Does anybody have anything different that you used? Did we all use 500? Cool. All right, what about 375? What were you thinking for that? Addison?
400.
400. Raise your hand if you guys were also thinking 400. Okay, anybody think anything different? Okay, there we go. All right, so if I were to estimate this, and I still have that multiplication there, I want someone to volunteer to share their thinking. Who can kind of walk me through how you found, your estimation for this? Do I have anybody that's going to be brave enough to walk me through it? What if I offer to help you out? Do I have someone brave enough that's willing to walk through it while I help them out? Tanner. Thanks, Tanner, for saving me a little bit there, bud. All right, what numbers in this problem do you think you would multiply together, Tanner?
Well, I was thinking you multiply 5 and 4 and then just add 4 zeros.
Okay, so if I multiplied 5 and 4, what do you get? What's 5 times 4?
20, I think.
Awesome.
Yeah, 20.
You thought right. It is 20. Good. And then what did you do with the zeros, sweetie?
And then I thought you would add 4 zeros.
Okay. So this is showing that you have 400 groups of 500, right? Which we know our number is going to be pretty big. So we talked a little bit about mental math the other day. And we also know that if we have these 4 zeros here, our product's going to have, I didn't save myself very much room, but our product's going to have 4 more zeros. I'm going to go ahead and write my 20 down here because I ran out of space. And then I'm going to write 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. If I do that, what is my estimated product? Who can read that number? What is the estimated product? Daniel, go ahead.
200,000.
Awesome. Very cool. Do you guys feel pretty good with that? How many of you guys got 200,000 versus the 150? Okay. Does anybody have a question on that one? I'm going to go ahead and share one more time. I want you guys to try this other problem. This other problem you did not have yesterday, but I want you guys to try it. So just find a spot on your at the bottom of your page, and I want you to try this one. Okay, I'm going to read it to you really quick. It says Lance has 102 packages of sports cards. Each package has 28 cards. Use rounding to estimate about how many cards does Lance have. So I want you to take a few seconds and try that one. When you have your answer, if you could just look up and show me that you're ready, don't yell anything out, please. Okay, I'm going to move from this problem in about 10 seconds. So write down any numbers that you need. All right, I'm going to go ahead and hop back to you guys. Take a couple more seconds to finish up. If you're struggling, try to get as far as you can, and we'll talk about it together. I know Alexis is ready. Thanks, Alexis, for sitting forward and showing me. I know Joey's ready. Thanks, Joey. Tanner, I think you're ready. I also think you're frozen. Yep, you're totally frozen. There you go. I can see you now, Tanner. All right. Even if you don't have your answer, if you guys could go ahead and put down your pencil for just a second, and let's talk through this one together. So make sure that you have me as the biggest thing on your screen still. All right, so it told me to use rounding to help me estimate my product. So if I have 102 here, what number am I going to round to help me estimate? I see a couple more hands. I'm going to wait till I have a few more hands going up. Ooh, I see some good ones. Hey, Nathan, what number would you use to estimate around this to?
100.
Yeah, you know what I meant. I think I messed up what I just said, but it's okay. Perfect, 100. That's what I would have used as well. What number would you estimate, or I'm sorry, would you round this to so that you can estimate your product? Sephi?
30.
30. All right, how many of you guys feel pretty comfortable with how we got these numbers? Does anybody good, thank you guys for responding. Is anyone wondering or confused on how we got either of these? We're all okay? Cool, all right, we're chugging along, we're moving forward. So how do I find my estimated product then? So who can, I know Tanner helped me out last time, so I'm gonna be looking for someone new. Who's brave enough to help me walk through this? Stephanie, go ahead, sweetheart.
You can first do 3 times 1.
Okay, so my 3 times 1, and what do I get?
3.
3, okay.
And then you add 3 zeros.
So I've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I can also think about this as having, remember yesterday we talked about like the $100 bill? It's like having 30 $100 bills, okay? Or 30 groups of 100 of something, okay? So this answer is about 3,000. How many of you feel pretty okay with that problem? All right, we're going to do a number really, really quick. Remember how we did our chess number where a 3 means you're feeling pretty awesome. A 2 means you're feeling pretty okay, but you still kind of need to work on it. You're not super confident. A 1 means, let's make a 1 funny today. A 1 means, help me, I have no idea what's happening. Remember that you should have me pins so no one else can see your number. Go ahead and show me really, really quick where you are. A couple of you, I can only see your chin and up, so I kind of need you to sit back just a little bit. Cool. All right, hands down. Awesome job. We're going to go ahead and pause there. If you guys could put down your pencils for me, you can even, we'll leave your journals open, but if you could kind of show me that you're listening with your whole body, your eyes, your ears, your hands, your nose, everything, even your toes. Hi, Luca. I'm glad you showed up, buddy. All right, I'm going to go ahead and share again. I know we're bouncing back and forth a lot. Thank you for being patient. So we're going to go ahead and we are going to try a warm-up problem today, okay? So in your warm-up problem, you have a story problem here, and I want to read it to you. One thing I want you to notice, though, is it doesn't really talk about estimating or rounding. So you might need to think a little differently this afternoon. It says, suppose a school ordered 7 boxes of books. I hope they're good books. There are 25 books in each box. How can you use paper and pencil to find how many books were ordered? How can you check if your answer is reasonable? Solve should say this problem or these problems, using any strategy that you choose. So there's a problem there. What math problem in this story problem do you hear? Like, what math expression do you think you're trying to solve? If you're brave enough, you can just unmute yourself. Do you have a taker?
Multiplication.
Multiplication. So you guys are hearing multiplication? Great. Let me hop back to your faces really quick. Does anyone hear the actual problem? So I know I'm using multiplication as my operation. What numbers was I trying to multiply together? What am I trying to do? I'm looking for some new hands. Looking for some new hands. Brooklyn, what are you thinking?
I think it might be 7 and 25 that you're trying to multiply.
Okay. How many of you guys agree with Brooklyn that you think you're trying to multiply 25 and 7? Awesome. I agree with Brooklyn as well, too. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to write 25 times 7 on my board. I want you to use any strategy that you know to try to solve that in your journal. Some of you might have something in your back pocket and you're like, ooh, I got this. And some of you might be thinking, this is stressing me out a little bit. Just try and get as far as you can, and we're going to work on it together. Seppi, did you have a question, sweetie?
I kind of forgot the numbers. Thank you.
You're welcome. Remember, you're trying to get as far as you can. It's okay if you still need help. I'm going to give you about 30 more seconds to get as far as you can. I know, Stephanie, you look like you're nice and ready. Kyler, thank you. All right. Even if you're not 100% done, it's okay. We still have to have our lessons. So sometimes we do these warm-up problems and they make sense and you have some information that can help you get started. And sometimes they really feel like a lot. So if you're kind of feeling like it feels like a lot, let's make sure our cameras are on, please. If you're feeling like it's a lot, we're still going to do the lesson. And I promise by the end of the lesson, you'll feel better. Okay, you might not be a master at it yet, but you'll feel better. All right, so with me being the only thing that you can see on your screen, raise your hand if you feel really comfortable doing this. Raise your hand if you feel like I'm not super comfortable, but I feel like I have a start. And raise your hand if you're like, Mrs. Rayens, this is so over my head, I'm about to go cry. Like, this is like gonna kill me today. Yay, no one's there. Awesome. So we're kind of all in that boat of like, it either feels really good, and the majority of us are in that boat of, I can start it, but I'm struggling a little bit. Cool. All right, we're gonna go ahead and watch our animation. If you can position yourself, excuse me, so that your whole body, I know that you're watching because your whole body is listening. You're not on your laptop, you're not writing anything. Today, the video is going to show us, it's pretty short. I am going to interrupt it this time. At least I owned it this time. I'm going to tell you that I'm going to interrupt it. We're going to interrupt it. We're going to look at a video, and they're going to talk about 2 different strategies. Today you guys get a choice, and you can choose your strategy. However, please know that I'm going to ask you to try both strategies. So if you know one strategy and you don't know the other, don't tune it out when they're going over the other one, because I am going to ask you to try both strategies. I'm not going to force you to use both the entire time, so you can choose which one feels better to you, but I do want you to explore both. Okay, so go ahead and show me that you're ready. You still have me pinned so that I'm the biggest thing up here. A couple of you guys have the wiggle worms. If you could kind of get comfy, make sure that your camera's on. There we go. Okay, I think we're all back to being situated. Cool. All right, guys, let's go ahead and start this. I am going to interrupt it, so I apologize in advance.
What is a common way to record multiplication? Ms. Stockton ordered 6 boxes of t-shirts with the school name on them. Each box contains 26 t-shirts. How many t-shirts did Ms. Stockton order?
All
How
right.
many t-shirts are in one box?
This is one of those moments.
Select your answer.
That gets me every time. This is one of those moments where they are checking to see if you're paying attention. How many t-shirts are in one box? So go back to the question before you yell out really quick, because I know some of you are about to hit unmute. Look at the question. It says there are 6 boxes of t-shirts. Each box contains 26 t-shirts. So you may, when I say go, you can unmute yourself and either tell me that there are 6 t-shirts in a box or 26. Go.
26.
26.
Awesome. Thanks, Luca. Go ahead and remute yourselves. I heard 26. I kind of want to jokingly say I heard 6, but you guys were pretty clear. It was 26. So let's go ahead and click that. There we go. All right.
There are 26 t-shirts in one box. There are 6 boxes. Multiply 26 by 6 to find the total number of t-shirts. One way to record multiplication is to write and add the partial products in any order. 26 can be broken into a group of 20 and a group of 6. Find 6 times 6 and 6 times 20. So 26 times 6 equals 36 plus 120 equals 156. Ms. Stockton ordered 156 t-shirts.
Okay, I want to pop back to your
Another way to
Stop.
record
Hold on.
multiplication is to multiply.
lady. I'm recording this. Stop it. Okay, I want to pop back to your faces really quick. How many of you guys feel like you've used a strategy similar to that before? Like you've seen that bar and you've talked about breaking that number down. Okay, a couple of you, cool. Some of you, I know when I was going through and watching it, I know I'm really familiar with that partial product and using that array, and we'll talk about that in a second. But then when they started adding all the other stuff, I was like, whoa, hold on. Let's talk about it really quick to kind of talk about what they did. Your pencil's down, everything's down. All your attention is up here, okay? So here we have our problem. This is what they did. They took this problem and they made a bar or an array, okay? And they put the 6 over here. And then they put the 26 at the top, but they broke it into 20 and 6. And if you remember, they had the line kind of there. Does anyone know why the line doesn't look even? They had a 20 up here and a 6. Can anyone kind of explain why the line didn't just go straight down the middle? Lucy?
If it would go straight down the middle, then there would be a 20 on one side and then a 20 on the other. But since 6 is smaller, then it gets a smaller section. And since 20 is bigger, it gets the bigger section.
I'm so glad I called on you. That was a really great answer. So right, 20 is bigger, so it gets the bigger section, and 6 is smaller, so it just gets a smaller section. And then what they did is they multiplied. And you remember, you're just looking, you're not writing anything down. I need all eyes up here, please. Thank you. All right, so they took 6 times 2. I need a friend to help me with that. Who can raise your hand? 6 times 2 with my 0. McKenna.
12.
Perfect. With my 0.
120.
You're amazing. Thanks. And then they multiplied 6 times 6. Who can help me with 6 times 6? I'm seeing a lot of the same hands. I really want some new ones. Ooh, I love that. Brady, was your hand up? Nope. Okay. I'm going to see it up later, though. I have confidence in you. Serge, what's 6 times 6?
36.
Yep. Then they have this product here. That's a part of it. That's what partial means. It's a part of it. And then they have this one over here as well. How did they find the total product? What did they do with this number and this number? What did they do? Daniel?
They added those 2 numbers up.
Yep, they added them up. I know I'm writing from the side over here. And they got 156. That's all that strategy did. What I want you guys to do now is I want you to go back to our warm-up problem with that 25 times 7, and I want you to try this strategy, okay? So I'll go ahead and set mine up so that you can set yours up as well. I have this array here, this bar, kind of looks like a bar. It's really supposed to be, I think, an array. And then I'm gonna break the top into 20 and 5. Okay, so I'm going to erase the problem at the top just because it looks a little confusing. Okay, so go ahead and write that on your paper. I'm going to move you kind of quickly. I'm going to give you 10 more seconds to write that down. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. No stress. Are we there? We good? Okay. What would I multiply first? Who can help me out really quick? What would I multiply first? I'm going to totally look for a new hand. Jake, love that your hand's up.
You multiply the 7 times 20.
Yep, you can multiply 7, and it really doesn't matter which ones you multiply first, but let's go ahead and do the 7 times the 20. So I could count 7 groups of 20. I could count 20, 40, 60, 80, or I could use that mental math from yesterday and do 7 times 2 with my 0. What is that product right there going to be, Jake?
140.
140. Nice job. And then what do I multiply next? What's the other part of this? Kyler.
7 times 5.
Which is what?
35.
Cool. All right, someone new, raise your hand. How do I find my total answer? I have part of the product here, part of the product here. How do I find my total answer? Sephi.
You add 140 and 35.
Yeah, and I just like to kind of do it down here on the side of my paper somewhere. I do leave my work there. I don't ever erase it because that way whoever's looking at my work knows how I got my final answer. Okay, so go ahead and write that down if you didn't write all that down with me. How many of you, while we're kind of finishing writing this down, how many of you are thinking like, wow, this actually does feel familiar? I do remember kind of doing this maybe in 4th grade or, okay, awesome. Cool. Take about 5 more seconds. Show me that you're ready by having your pencil down. 4, 3, 2. Some of you raised your hands. It reminds me of one time I think I told the kids I wanted their hands up, and it was kind of funny because they all went like this, and it was a very scary moment in my classroom. Couldn't figure out what happened. All right, we're gonna try one more strategy really quick. So this is one strategy you guys can use today. We're gonna try another strategy. The other strategy is what they call the standard algorithm. I know that sometimes when mom and dad help you, this might be what they have you do, but I want you to remember it's gonna be important today to try both strategies. Okay, so let's go ahead and pop back into our video. Your pencil should be down, your eyes should be up here, and you're ready to watch the rest of this video.
At each place value in order, beginning with the ones.
I'm gonna back that up just a little bit. There we go. Sorry.
Another way to record multiplication is to multiply each place value in order, beginning with the ones. Regroup if needed. Add any regrouped values to each place value. Step 1. Multiply by the ones. Record the 6 ones. Record the 3 tens. Step 2. Multiply by the tens. Record the 15 tens. 26 times 6 equals 156.
All right.
This method of multiplying is called the standard algorithm.
All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and stop it there. We're gonna go back to our original warm-up problem, that 25 times 7. I went ahead and wrote it on my board, just like this. If you could write it in your journal, just like this. And then we're gonna walk through it together. So if you feel like, Miss Rayens, I can do this on my own, you can try it really quick. And then you can compare your work to our work. But if you're like, yeah, this isn't really my thing yet, then we're gonna walk through it together. We're gonna try it together. So I'll give you about 8 seconds to write that down. All right. So the very first thing we're going to do, Luca, do you have a question, sweetie? Go ahead.
Can I use the restroom?
Can you give me like 10, can you hold it for 10 seconds and then you'll be able to go?
Yes.
Okay, I really appreciate that. Give me 10 seconds, okay? And then you can go. And if it's an emergency, just go. All right, guys, so I'm gonna start here with my 7, and my 7 is gonna start by multiplying my ones place I need a volunteer to raise their hand. What is 7 times 5? 7 times 5, I'm looking for a lot of you because I feel like we hit this problem already. Timmy, go ahead. Thanks for raising your hand.
Starting
35.
Nice job. So I'm going to put my 5 here. You can do it too. If I do it, you do it. And then I'm going to regroup my 3 up here. Once you're ready, you're looking back up. Thank you, Evan. Thank you, Alexis. Thank you, Daniel. All right, now I'm going to multiply by my 10s. So I'm here at 7, so I'm going to multiply my 7. And I've got 2 groups of 10. What's 7 times 10? I'm sorry, 7 times 2. What's 7 times 2? I bet you guys did know 7 times 10 from the other day, though. Zorar, what's 7 times 2, sweetie?
14.
14. Plus, I have to add my 3. It's just like when I regroup with adding and subtracting. I have to make sure I look at those numbers. So 14 plus 3, who can help me with that? 14 plus 3. I really want some new hands. Joey, go ahead.
17.
17. Okay, so I got the same final product here, 175. And then I had 175 over here as well. Okay. All right. Does anybody have a question about that strategy that we just tried? Today, I don't expect you guys to feel like you've mastered it. What I expect for you to do is to try both strategies. So if you could put your pencils down for just a second, I want to show you what activity you're working on, and then we'll talk about our groups. Okay? Awesome. Do you guys feel like you know enough to get started today? Okay, cool. So I will be available to you today. We're going to have our first group in just a second. We'll stay on the call. My 120 group, you guys will be coming in at 120, just like you always do. And then I'll be available at 1:30 if anyone needs to pop in. So on our Google Classroom, I bumped it to the top. You have your math activity. When you head into your math activity, you guys have the same exact examples that we did today. So you have your partial product up here, and then you have your algorithm down here. I would like for you guys, if you notice, I asked you to use, you can use the partial product or algorithm. I want you to try both. So maybe if you really like partial product, maybe you do a couple of these, most of these with partial product, but then try 1 or 2 with the algorithm, or vice versa. If you really like the algorithm, then try a couple with partial product. When you guys get down here, you're going to be using, I love animals, you're going to get down here, you're going to be using this information to help you. So let's look at number 14 really quick. So it asks you to find the mass of each of the animals. So it's kind of like a little puzzle or like a riddle. So they tell you how much the zebra weighs, but then they don't tell you how much the bison weighs or the sports car or the elephant. You have to kind of compare it to the zebra. So in my head, I'm thinking 435 kilograms, which is right here, is probably what I'm going to be using to multiply. If I had to find the bison, it's 2 times as much as the zebra. What would I multiply 435 by to get that? You can just unmute yourself if you think you know.
2.
2.
2.
Awesome, cool. Remute yourself. Thank you. So 2, you guys had the right idea there, and you'll kind of continue with that. 19 is really important. I want you guys to make sure that you think about that. You're doing your journal, your work in your journal today. You're doing your work in your journal today. My first group that's going to stay on is going to be Zarar, Sefi, Zach, Luca, Adrian, Timmy, Brady, Bryce. So those people are going to stay here. One more time, Zarar, Sefi, sorry. I combined your names. Zach, Luca, Adrian, Timmy, Brady, Bryce. My 120, you know who you are. If you are working and you are like, whoa, this one problem is kind of killing me right now, keep working and pop in at 1:30. I'm available for open at 1:30. So if you need anything, I'll be on at 1:30 if you get stuck on a problem, okay? If you do not feel like you are ready to go try anything because this is really stressing you out, stay on the call right now. Everyone else, if you're good, you can go. Happy mathing. Is mathing a word? Can we make mathing a word? We say happy reading and happy writing, right? All right, cool. So you guys are my first group that's staying on. Luca, did you run to the restroom, sweetie? You already went? Wow, you came back fast. Thanks for being so fast. All right, I want you guys to have, we didn't have a couple of our friends stay. Oh, well, I appreciate you guys staying. I'll have to get them in another group. Go ahead and open your journal to the next clean page and put today's date on it. It's 10/28. We're going to try a couple of things together. And I want you guys to feel like you can work independently by the time you leave this group. So if you have questions, feel free to ask. And I really do appreciate you guys remembering to stay on. Awesome. Are you guys ready? Cool. So really quick, just so I kind of get the feel, how many of you have used the partial product strategy before, this one? Boom. How many of you have seen it before? Timmy, have you seen that before? You have? Okay. Are you feeling okay, Timmy? Okay, you look kind of sad. All right, let's try to see if we can make you feel better. Let's come up with a fun, hey, Luca. Hi. Hey. Hi. Let's pay attention, okay? Let's come up with a fun problem. So let's make pretend, I'm trying to think of what we could have. Ooh, let's make pretend we have Halloween buckets, like those old-fashioned orange ones. You guys know which ones I'm talking about? The little plastic ones. Cool. You guys ever had one of those before? Awesome. Let's make pretend Timmy and we're going to try to do little Halloween treats for some of our friends just to make them happy. And let's make pretend that we have 8 of those buckets. And I want to put 23 pieces of candy in each bucket. I don't know why. 23 is like a special number for some reason. So Timmy and we got to figure out how much candy we need for everybody. Okay. What math problem am I trying to solve right now? What math problem do you think I'm trying to solve? Who can help me with that? Adrian?
8 times 23.
Awesome. 8 times 23. So we're going to walk through this together. So I have my 8 times 23. You should still have me pinned, so I'm biggest. All right. Let's try the partial product first. Okay. So I want to go ahead and I want to draw like a box right here. An array. Or a rectangle, I guess, which kind of is the same idea. You guys ready? I want to put my 8 over here. So go ahead and put your 8 right there. And if I do something that you don't understand, stop me and say, yo, I don't understand. Okay. What number do I want to break apart at the top up here? Seppi?
You want to break up 23?
23. What could I do to break up the 23? What seems pretty simple?
You can put 20 on the side with the 8 and then 3 on the other side.
Okay, so I could do the 20 up here. It doesn't really matter which place I put them. I just know that if I add those together, I get the 23. Okay, so go ahead and make your paper look just like my paper. And then I don't multiply anything quite yet. I have a few questions. Zarar, if I was multiplying by like a 47, how could I break that down up here? How could I break down 47 up there? What could I use?
You could use
So when I used 23, I just broke it down. I tried to go pretty simple, and I did a 20 and a 3. If I had 47, what do you think I would use? Or how would I break it down?
you use the 40 and the 7.
Yeah, I could break it down with the 40 and 7. There's a lot of ways I could break it down, but just kind of thinking about our lesson yesterday, that 40, using that multiple of 10 seemed pretty easy to me. Cool. Good job, guys. All right. What do you want me to multiply first? What do you want to multiply first? I really make sure that your eyes are up here. Timmy, love that your hand's up. Go ahead, bud.
I think you multiplied 20.
20 by what? 20 times what?
8.
Yep, I can multiply 20 times 8. Can anyone kind of talk me through that in your head? How could we do that mentally? How could you do that in your head? Safi?
So you can make two groups of 8. I mean 8 groups of 2, sorry.
Okay, well, no, that's the same thing. 2 times 8 and 8 times 2 are the same thing. So what is 8 times 2? Who can raise their hand and tell me? What's 8 times 2? Adrian?
16.
16. And then if I have that 0, what am I going to actually write right here? What's my product going to be right here? Adrian, go ahead. Finish that up.
160.
160. Good job. Go ahead and make yours look like mine. All right. What do I need to multiply next? What do I need to multiply next? I need a new hand. I'm looking for a new hand. What numbers do you think I need to multiply? Luca, what numbers do you think I need to multiply now?
3 times 8.
3 times 8. Very good. All right. Who knows what 3 times 8 is? Do you mind know what 3 times 8 is? Luca, go ahead.
Wait. You could do 2 groups of 8, which is 16, and
Yep.
16 times 8 is 16, 17, 18.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're at 16, so you did a really good job. So 2 groups of 8 is 16. So if I added 8 more to that 16, Luca, what would I get? If I was at 16 and I added 8 more.
16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24.
Is that your final answer? 24? Nice job, dude. 24. Good job. Awesome. All right, guys, go ahead and fill in your 24. And then what do I do to find my final product? What do I do with these pieces right here? What do I do with these? Timmy, what do I do, sweetie?
You add them.
Yeah, I'm just going to come over here on the side of my paper. I like to show my work because I feel like it's evidence for my thinking. So I go ahead and add them up. Make sure I add correctly because sometimes I mess up on purpose and sometimes I just mess up. Did I get the same thing as you? 184? Awesome. I'm going to flip it over and we're going to try the same problem, but we're going to try it with that different strategy. So I have to erase, but you don't. What was the problem? 8 times 23. Go ahead and write your problem this time. Like that. Go ahead and write it like this. Mine's a little crooked, sorry. I do what I can. All right, once you have it written down, just look up for me and we'll work through it together. All right, you guys ready? So we can work through it together, but let's see what you know. Does anybody remember what I start with? Like, what do I multiply the 8 with first? Steffi knows. All right, Steffi, go ahead.
8 times 3.
Okay, what do you guys get with 8 times 3? Hey, Luca, what's 8 times 3? Do you remember?
8 times.
Oh, you just
3.
told me. Go back and look at your work.
8 times 3 is 24.
You look at you learning new stuff today. 24. Good. You're going to put your 4.
Drop
So everybody,
my pencil.
you dropped your pencil. Go ahead and pick it up. Put your 4. And then put your 2 at the top. What do I multiply next, Timmy?
You'll multiply the 2 times 2, which will give you 4.
Ooh, hold on. You're going to multiply 8 times
2.
2, which is what?
16.
And then you're going to add what you regrouped up here. So what's 16 plus 2?
18.
18. I got nervous. I was wondering if that was the same answer. Do we have the same answer that we had before, the same product? Awesome. Which strategy feels easier to you guys? Which one do you think you are going to use the most today? The partial product, the one with the box, or the which one feels better? Safi, what's feeling better to you?
The one with the box.
The one with the box. Timmy, what's feeling better to you?
Box.
The box. Okay, cool. So I want you guys to practice today. Use a strategy that makes sense to you. But before I go, can we go over a couple of things really quick that I noticed that we needed to review? Are you guys okay with that? Yes, no, maybe? Awesome, cool. So we're just going to review some stuff that I noticed that a couple of us needed some work on. I'm going to give you guys a fraction, and I want you to see if you can write. Adrian, let's put that down, please. I want to see if you guys can write the equivalent decimal. Can you guys try that? Okay, let's try this. Let's start with 7 over 10. Go ahead and write that down. And Luca, I know you weren't here for part of this, which is kind of why you're getting some of this information now. So it's okay to be learning with us. So you have 7 over 10. And I want you guys to try to find that equivalent decimal. Remember that spot behind the decimal, think about the place value. When you think you have an answer, touch your nose. We'll mix it up a little bit. They're like, touch your nose. When you think you have an answer, touch your nose. Oh, I have a nose toucher. I have a chin toucher. Luca, you have a great thinking face. You look like you're thinking like a mathematician. I love it. All right. Some of us might be struggling a little bit. Timmy, you're touching both. Oh, you're double touching your nose. Timmy, what do you have? Let's see if you can help us really quick. What do you want me to write down?
I don't know the answer. I'm just assuming it because I never really knew how to do this
Oh my
thing.
God, I love this.
That's why we're here. What do you want me to write? Let's try it.
I was gonna say 17 over 10.
Okay. Well, we want to start with a decimal. So I'm going to say that we have a decimal here. And I want to find the tenths place when I think about my decimal. So we have the first place, the second place, the third place. Which spot behind the decimal was the tenths? Do you guys remember? If you can give me a 1, a 2, or a 3. Does anybody remember what place the tenths was? Sephi, do you want to try?
If I can remember probably, I think it's 3 or 2.
Okay. Or 1?
Oh, 1 probably.
Or 3? Or 2? What do you think? No, I love that you're trying. It's okay. Timmy, that's why we're doing this. What are you thinking, Timmy?
It's 2.
The 2. What do you think, Luca? You weren't even here for
I think it's 24.
It's definitely not 24.
Yes.
Here's what I want you guys to do. So we still need to work on this. It's the first place after the decimal. So the 10th spot is that first place. So go ahead and write this. This decimal says 7/10, and it's equivalent or the same as 7 over 10. Okay. So guys, we are going to stop there because I'm going to meet with my other group. We need to work on some of this together. Do you guys agree a little bit? Yes, no, maybe? I don't want you to leave feeling like, that really stressed me out. That was kind of a review. Hey, Luca, can I have your attention for just a second? Adrienne, can I have your attention for just a second? Those of you that are popping in, thanks for being patient. We're still going to review these things, okay? It's okay if you guys still need some help. I want you to go through today and focus on that multiplication, and then when we come back together, I'll pull you guys as a small group again, and we'll come back to some of the fractions and decimals, okay? You guys cool? Knowing that you need help with it is a good thing. That's a good thing that you know that you need some help still. All right, if you need anything, you can pop back in at 1:30 and I'll help you with multiplication, okay?
Bye.
Bye, guys. Thank you for working so hard. Bye, Luca. Hey, guys. How are you? Awesome. All right. We are going to go ahead and get ready to get started. We're waiting for our other kiddos to pop in. So I'm going to pull up yesterday's work, right? So yesterday you guys had that activity. Okay, I got it up with the dog wash. Did you guys figure it out yesterday? Cool. So Jake's here. We're still missing Evan and Stephanie's here. I think it's just Evan, right? All right.
Serge.
Oh, yeah, and Serge. Thanks, Lucy, for keeping me in line. It's that pasta, man. It's good for your brain. Your body needs carbs. All right. So we're going to go ahead and start, and we'll just have them pop in. I'm going to share my screen really quick so you guys can see that activity that you were working on yesterday. And you'll have to remind me, I think we said that yesterday you were only working on 1 and 2. Is that right? Can you guys unmute yourselves so we can talk like a normal?
Yes, that's right.
Cool. As long as your background's quiet, you guys can unmute yourself because it's just us. Unless there's a weird echo or your mom is like singing or something in the background, then you can mute yourself. You good? Okay. So let's hop down to number 2 really quick. It says, Tony says that there are $8.95 containers of shampoo does not work as well as the other types of shampoo. She says that you'll have to use 3 times the amount to get the dogs clean. Write a new estimate for the total cost of the $8.95 container of shampoo. So what did you guys, I'm going to pop back to your faces. What did you write for number 2? What did that look like for you? Is anybody brave enough to go ahead and share? Lucy, start us off. What did you have?
Well, first I rounded 4 and 9,500 to the nearest whole.
Hold on. Did you say $4.95? I thought it was $8.95. Did I look at that wrong?
Oh, wait, I was on question 1, sorry.
No, I thought it was me. So on number 2, so if I look at number 2, it says Tony
Then I
had.
meant
Okay, go ahead.
the first 3 round 8 and 9,500.
What did you guys round the 8.9500s to? I'm sharing my screen, so I don't know how well. Can you see my board when I'm sharing my screen? Okay, cool. There's just a couple of us on here. What did you round this to, Lucy?
I rounded it to 9.
Do you guys agree that, like, if you're at Target and you're buying something for $8.95, or if you're at the book fair at school, it's about $9? Do you guys feel that's pretty safe to say that? Okay, it's about $9. And then what was the rest of your thinking, Lucy?
And then I did 9 times 3 because because it's just $9, so
Yep.
you don't need to add any cents.
Okay, so about how much is that?
About $27.
Yep, it's about $27. Okay. Do I have to, just side note really quick, do I have to have my decimals behind this 27? Do they matter right now?
No.
If I take them away, is it the same amount? Nice job. Cool. Do you guys agree with Lucy or do you disagree? What are you thinking? Everybody feel pretty okay? And we're quiet. Cool. Awesome. All right. Is anyone think anything different? I'm going to stop presenting so you guys can see each other. You can unpin me really quick so you can look at each other. Does anybody think anything different than Lucy, or do you guys all kind of feel like she was right? Okay. How are you feeling about multiplication right now? Like, how are you feeling about today's lesson and the estimating and the actual numbers? Are you guys feeling pretty good? All right. How many of you were able to try the partial product today and you tried the algorithm? What's working better for you? What do you feel more comfortable with? Tanner, what do you got? We're going to kind of go around to everybody. I'm just going to ask, what are you feeling the most comfortable with? What strategy?
I feel a little better with the standard algorithm.
Okay. Lucy, what are you thinking?
I feel more comfortable with the box because I didn't understand the standard algorithm till
And
today.
that's okay for right now. That's okay for right now. Brooklyn, where are you?
I like the standard algorithm more.
Okay. Stephanie, what are you thinking?
I don't have a favorite.
That's awesome.
All like hard works.
What'd you say?
have to write all the number down, and then you have to figure the math.
Okay. So you feel like they both kind of work for you?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Okay. Jake, what are you thinking, dude?
I'm with them both.
Okay. You like them both as well. Nice job. Alexis, what are you thinking?
Both.
Okay. I like that I complimented Stephanie on saying that I really like that she liked them both and everybody liked them both after that. So it's totally okay if you like one over the other. I definitely like one over the other. It depends on what kind of problem I'm doing, really. I like both of them, but I have my favorites for different types of problems. So what I want you guys to do today, I'm going to, if you hop over to our extensions classroom, are you guys in there right now? If you're not, I'll just share my screen. I'll bring it up really quick. If you look, I went ahead and just dated it. And instead of attaching it through Envisions, I just attached the PDF for you guys. So you guys are doing the same idea here. I want you guys to try 2 and 4. We're going to stick with even numbers today, 2 and 4. If you want to do 1 and 3 as well, you can. But I want you to go ahead. Once you feel comfortable with what we did for the today, you can stop that work and transition over to this. So you're going to be thinking about writing a number sentence, for each verse. That's really like thinking about writing like an expression or coming up with, because they're asking you how many, you will be coming up with that final answer. So you'll actually have a full equation. You'll have something times something or something plus something. Because it says multiplication, you kind of know it's multiplying. So it's going to be something times something equals your product. Okay, so I want you guys to try 2 and 4 today. If you want to try 1 and 3, you can. Remember, you're just drawing that line in your journal, putting a star next to it so that you know that that's your activity for today. When we come back tomorrow, we're going to go over 2 and 4. If you want to do 1 and 3, you can. Alexis?
I don't see it in our classroom.
Do you guys see it in our classroom? Did you refresh? Because it didn't post until 1:10. You have to refresh really quick. And then it was posted. Jake, did you find it? Cool. All right. You guys all remuted yourselves. Like, how are we supposed to have a conversation about like a normal class if you're all quiet? It's okay. What numbers are you doing?
2 and 4.
2 and 4. Very cool, because I almost said 1 and 3. I'm so glad you guys were listening. You guys are awesome. Hey, and thanks for showing up at 1:20. I appreciate it. I appreciate that you weren't like 8 minutes early or 10 minutes late. So thank you for that. And I also appreciate those of you that came in a couple of seconds. You saw me finishing with the group. You guys did a really good job just being patient and kind and waiting. So thank you. You did the right thing. I love that you did that and you didn't pop in and leave. So you guys were awesome. Do you guys feel pretty okay? Okay, so if once you feel pretty good with the problems that you guys tried with math, with the regular class today, stop those, hop over to doing this work. I would say you probably should have been able to do 5 or 6 problems though from the other activity. So not one's not enough. 5 or 6 is probably pretty good. If you didn't try 5 or 6 like total, then maybe try a couple more and then hop over to our work. Okay. You guys have any questions? Are you feeling pretty good? Tomorrow, I'm good. Thanks for the thumbs up. Tomorrow, I am hoping that more people are willing to agree with someone's thinking, like Lucy when she shared her thinking, or even disagree. If you have a different answer, that's okay as well too. So I'm hoping that you guys get a little bit more chatty. Can we work on that? Awesome. All right. If you guys feel comfortable, you are good to go. And I will see you in just a few minutes. Bye, guys. Hey, Evan. Oop, did he leave? He left. Okay. Let's give him a second. Might come back. Might not.